let's talk Edo politics now. Yeah, we say a lot of things about Edo politics, but you know, every state has its own peculiarity. So Reverend Olu Martins joins us now to speak to what exactly is playing out in Edo State, the impeachment notice, or the impeachment proceedings, actually, which have begun with the governor, or deputy governor, I should say, of the state, Philip Shaibu. Reverend Olu Martins is the Executive Director, Canvassers for Democracy and the Rule of Law, joins us from Benin City via Zoom. Good morning, Reverend Martins. Good to have you on the Morning Brief.
Morning. Thank you for having me.
You know, for those who...
At least the Morning Brief, I've never been on this one.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to the brief. We usually do like a welcome party, you know, for those who join us for the first time. But
that'd be nice.
You know, for those who are following Edo politics, it may be exhausting, really. It's been a very long ride. The governor, the deputy governor, and then we saw the primaries. I mean, different candidates emerging from primaries, and people were like, can't we just have things go, you know, straightforward when it comes to politics generally in Nigeria? We know Edo State is always peculiar. And then with this impeachment proceedings, which have begun against the deputy governor, a lot of people thought, well, how many months to go, really? Why now? Can't you just allow the man end his tenure and everybody go their way, contest for the election? So is this politics just doing its thing or governance? We need to really differentiate, because people want politics, good politics that will lead to good governance, not dirty politics that will naturally lead to poor governance.
Well, you know, it depends on what you mean by dirty politics. Politics everywhere in the world is a game of contention. And when there is contention for power, emotions are bound to rise. So everywhere in the world, politics is not a stroll in the park. Everybody is doing whatever they can do to get an advantage as far as the control of public patrimony is concerned. I don't think that Edo is any different. This is the last lap of this administration. And to talk about timing, I'm not too sure that the Constitution depicts a time where a governor or a deputy governor can be impeached. A case in question is Senator Akerele Bokno in Lagos. She was impeached, I think just about wasn't too far from this same time at the end of the first tenure of the now president of Nigeria. And then Femi Pedro ran the remaining tenure of Akerele Bokno. So I don't see, impeachment is not evil. Why people making it sound like it's a death, sentence? Governors have been impeached. Deputy governors have been impeached. So far in the history of Nigeria, 16 deputy governors have been impeached. And the House of Assembly, a different arm of government, thinking that they have had enough, all of this face-off between the governor, and the deputy, just felt that, maybe the deputy governor is being a little bit too rascally in this approach to face-off. Maybe the dirty politics is on his side, and they felt that, maybe we should just put this matter, to rest. Deputy governor, an impeachment notice has been served. All the things on impeachment notice so far are allegations. They are yet to be substantiated. The man will have the right of reply. He will have the right, to defend himself. And the process is not as easy as we think. It's not like when we impeach a speaker, where you just move a motion of impeachment, and on the floor of Parliament, that day, the speaker impeached. There's a long process, to it. So it may get to his terminus aqua. It may not get to his terminus aqua. But the process has, begun, and then we'll see how it plays out in the next few days, in the next few weeks. The deputy governor may just defend himself, and then it may just turn out that, well, there wasn't really substance to the allegation. But as it stands now, it's an impeachment process that has started. All that is on it are allegations, and he has the right to prove or to defend himself as far as the allegations are concerned. But I don't want to create the impression impeachment notice if it's in the constitution of Nigeria. Governors have been impeached, deputy governors have been impeached. So there really is no big deal, about serving the deputy governor, an impeachment notice.
Well, Reverend Martins, though you say that impeachment is not a new thing, and you've cited some instances, but we know how those cases have turned out in history. But there are some who've been watching Edo politics with keen interest, and, you know, it's interesting to hear their thoughts. They say that this is persecution at its peak for the deputy governor who fought tooth and nail to support his principal, you know, when his principal fell out with the former national chairman of the party, going as far as, you know, using uncouth words, you know, against the national chairman, for which he has apologized, by the way. And they're saying that this impeachment notice is tantamount to using a sledgehammer to kill a fly. After all, he's lost the primary already. What are your thoughts on this, Reverend Martins?
Yes, thank you very much. I'm only hearing from you that he has lost the primaries. The deputy governor does not think that he has lost the primaries. And it is instructional to note that in 2000, when Comrade Philip Shaibu, as he then was, became president of the National Association of Nigerian Students, I was student union president in Ambrose Ali University. A certain Wale Badmus from University of Ilorin from Zone C, where the presidency was zoned to, declared himself as president of the NANS in some, you know, sham. And I collaborated very closely at that time with Comrade Philip Shaibu to make sure that we offered as much resistance at that time in 2000, you know, to Wale Badmus. So I do not think that the deputy governor, the one who is saying so, the deputy governor, as we speak today, and in the most ludicrous manner, considers himself the winner of a so-called parallel primaries that took place. And I tell people that, look, you can't have a parallel primaries all of a sudden. For it to be parallel, there must be a parallel leadership of the party. There must be a parallel, you know, Congress, you know, that emanated, that brought up the candidates, the delegates for the election. So if all of those parallels didn't take place, and then the deputy governor, you know, all of a sudden declared himself, I find it, I mean, for me, I don't even know the right word. I don't want to, it was the most ludicrous thing that I ever seen. And I thought it was too embarrassing. If you have a problem, the Latin Martin say, ubi gis, libi rebellium. You don't, the only alternative to rule of law is anarchy. You don't disrespect your party's rules, you don't disrespect your party's organs, you don't disrespect your party's structure, and barefacedly, recklessly, as if we're in a banana republic, gather a certain group of people and say that you are now the candidate, you know, of the PDP. And I say he is excellency.
Reverend Martins.
What it means that His Excellency should do something excellently. I didn't see that.
Reverend Martins, if I may butt in.
Let me quickly answer. You said a question that the deputy governor fought for the governor, so to speak. Listen, they fought together. The governor also took 3 pages to defend the deputy governor when Governor Wike at that time was at the jugular, you know, of the deputy governor. At any rate, do politicians do anything for free? There's always the principle of what is in it, you know, for me. So let us balance this. When the party thought that they were not going to take Philip Shaibu along with the governor did everything possible to make sure that his deputy governor came, you know, along, you know, with him. And when Wike was at the deputy governor's jugular, I know how the governor stoutly stood against his own colleague at that time, Governor Wike, to defend, you know, the deputy governor. So I don't always like to have, you know, that.
Martins, you know, if I may butt in because of time.
That's why I try to take that balance.
Martin might butt in because of time. It depends on what side of the argument you're looking, and this is the side you're looking at. But some would say, on the other side, that Philip Shaibu has put his life on the line a couple of times for this particular journey. Whether or not he wanted to, he was clear at the very beginning to be governor, discussed that with Godwin Obaseki, the governor. That's between both of them. But let's talk about justice according to law. I don't know what the content or the full content of that impeachment process is. Section 188 that has to do with impeachment process. 188 subsection 2B says, whereas the governor or deputy governor of a state may be removed from office in accordance with the provision of this section. That's the B. 2B says, stating that the holder of such office is
these are the framers of the Constitution, and they were careful with their words, is guilty of gross misconduct in the performance of the functions of his office, detailed particulars of which shall be specified. And the framers were thoughtful to explain what misconduct is and gross misconduct is. After the subsection 11 says, gross misconduct means a grave violation or breach of provisions of this Constitution or misconduct of such nature as amounts, in the opinion of the House of Assembly, to gross misconduct. What gross misconduct are they bringing against him in the performance of his duty as Deputy Governor?
Very much. I don't think we should jump the gun. I don't think we should jump the gun. I think we are moving a little bit too fast. The impeachment procedure has at least 8 stages to it. This is the first stage to it, where an impeachment notice is served all of the 24 members. It is instructional to know that the House of Assembly in Edo State is heterogeneous. It is politically heterogeneous. They are not all one party. There are at least, I think there are 13 PDP members, there are 9 APC members, and I think there's 1, House of Assembly member. It's not instructional that 21 members sign. It means that across party, whether it is APC or PDP, because there are those who want to argue that it is because of the ambition of the deputy governor. If it were the ambition of the deputy governor, then the APC lawmakers will have no business in it. But I think you are jumping the gun. The first stage is that an impeachment notice is served. Then gross misconduct, that the investigation of the gross misconduct is not going to be carried out by the House of Assembly members. There will be at least 6 people constituted by the chief judge of Edo State who will investigate what the gross misconduct is. So let's not go beyond ourselves. The process, the process has started. Right. In the days to come, in the weeks to come, we will see what constitutes gross misconduct. But the first process has started, and the deputy governor will have a right to defend himself.
So you're saying right now,
what constitutes gross misconduct is preempting the process.
So, Reverend Martins, as it is right now, we don't know what it is all about. Is that what you're saying according to law?
I am saying that by what the House of Assembly, the majority leader of the House of Assembly said, one of the things that he said was that the deputy governor had divulged official secrets of government. I'm quoting Honorable Charity as one of the bases for which the impeachment notice was served. And like the Constitution said, gross misconduct also constitutes, in a manner of speaking, what the House of Assembly terms as gross misconduct in their eyes. But when the committee is set, the committee is set up by the chief judge, because it is a multi-departmental or a multi-level thing. The House of Assembly is also going to be involved in the matter. I also heard the majority leader say that the deputy governor had taken all the arms of government to court. So I'm sure there's going to be a list. But as it is now, this is coming from the mouth of the majority leader of the House of Assembly, and some of these things have considered the basis upon which the deputy governor has been served an impeachment. And in my candid opinion, because in a television interview, it's 12 days ago, I had opined that the deputy governor, for all of the things that he has been doing, to be impeached. Perhaps, perhaps it's because he has a cap on his head. Maybe if he had a cap on one side and a head on one side, and he had to choose from one, perhaps he would choose his head. So that's my own personal opinion as an individual. I'm not a member of the Edo State House of Assembly. But in the days to come, the allegations will be reeled out in more clearer terms. A committee will be set up by the chief judge, and then the allegation, as it stands, the allegations, and the deputy governor will have a right to impeach himself. It's not a one-day process. So I don't think that we should be in a hurry to preempt the outcome of the investigation by the committee that the chief judge will set up.
So if this were a game of chess, he's trying to say that this is just a check and hoping to see the next move of the deputy governor, if he will move his piece back and retreat and maybe withdraw his candidature in that parallel primary, if, of course, you are a chess person. But the majority leader also talked about perjury, aside divulging state secrets, some of the allegations put forward, and he has 7 days to reply. I'd like us to wind down with this point. You mentioned the FCT minister, Mr. Nyesom Wike, and there have been reports that the governor, that's Governor Obaseki, has been trying to mend the relationship between them. You know, he was perceived as disloyal, you know, with the support that the former Governor Wike gave him when he was vying for second term. You know how tumultuous that period was, but, you know, the former governor came through for him and all of that. But then they fell through eventually, you know, war of words and the rest. So speak to us about that relationship. Are they now back in good terms? Because a lot of people had also alleged that the FCT minister was supporting Mr. Shaibu, all of that in the mix. So tell us about that, Reverend Martins.
Thank you very much. Talking about the game of chess, I play a bit of chess. I think I've seen some of your reels where you played with a king chess player. So I'm sure I'm not at your level, but I expressed, you know, a personal opinion. This is me as Reverend Olu Martin, you know, thinking that if we went for your head, you probably forget your cap. If you have to choose between your head and your cap. But talking about the governor's relationship, maybe I should adjust the word that you use, disloyal. The governor is governor. The Wike was also governor at that time. So you can't really be disloyal to your contemporary. Maybe you can misinterpret. You can say maybe it wasn't appreciative or whatever it is. But I don't think that disloyal is the right word to use, because this is governor, you know, to governor. Nobody is higher, you know, than the other. But
these were opinions that were put out there by, you know, the political watchers and pundits.
You can't use the word.
No, I didn't use it. I am quoting what they said, and they saw them as friends, as colleagues, and the rest, and that was what was out there. I'm just putting that to you.
That's fine. That's fine. But let me talk about addressing your major issue. Like they say in politics, politics is a game of interest. There are no permanent friends, and there are no permanent enemies. A time was where the media was awash with a certain enmity between an Adams Aliu Oshomole and a Governor Obaseki. At the last Alagodao, the Adams Aliu Oshomole, the former governor, Comrade Adams Aliu Oshomole, now senator, the former governor, was given an award, and it was at the state dinner, and we saw a rapprochement. So it is politics. Politics is a game of crisis and consensus. Sometimes we differ to agree, and sometimes we disagree to agree, and then sometimes we just go our different ways. So at whatever point in time that the governor and the former governor, they are not enemies. They differed on principle, they differed on perspective, and perhaps they differed on policy. At whatever point in time that they find a meeting point, perhaps they can work together. But come on, it is usually at this level. Like the Bible says, Abraham and Lot didn't have a problem. It was the headsmen of Abraham and the headsmen of Lot that have the problem. Usually it is the followers that have more problem with themselves than the leaders. I'm not sure that Governor Obaseki has a personal grouse with Governor, you know, Wike. They could work together when they could work together. And they can still work together, even for the developers in Nigeria. I'm sure that they work. I'm sure it's nothing personal.
Well, the Holy Book also says, be at peace with all men. But it looks like politicians read another.
As much as, no, it says as much as within you.
Another scripture. So we might be seeing the governor and the deputy governor hugging very soon. Since you say that, I mean, politics is always dynamic. So we can see Governor Obaseki and Comrade Shaibu just making up in the coming days. But we'd like to thank you so much. It's always interesting speaking with you, Reverend Olu Martin. Do you have, you know, that comradeship from, you know, university, bringing it into politics and ministry and the rest? Reverend Olu Martin is Executive Director, Canvassers for Democracy and the Rule of Law. Thank you for your time. There you go.
Interesting. So, who achieves checkmate in this political game of chess?
We wait to find out.
You know, in politics, the more you look, the less you see. But if you follow through, you know where this is going and sometimes where this is coming from. So, but let's not break it down. Let's leave it to them to break it down. But we ask questions because we know things. And so their job is to explain all of those things. But hey, it's politics. It's a game, right?
Absolutely. So we have to run now.
Yeah.
So you are the people that would eventually decide. So don't be missing when that day comes at the election. Make sure you make the right choice and you're out there. But we have to run now. It's International Women's Day tomorrow, so we have a lot of preparations to do. I'm Kayode Okikelu.
Looks like someone is making more preparations than the women. We're doing our time check now and we're wrapping up. Join us again tomorrow for that big celebration. I am Bukola Koka.
And don't forget to put up a photo on your DP so you don't have issues that you could have avoided.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
Jeffrey Uzama. Bye-bye.
Good counsel.
You would say we didn't help you, right?